Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another fantastic episode on the Unleashing Potentials podcast. My name is Bernadette Desir, and I'm your host. And joining me today is Tiffany Harvey. How are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. The birds are singing. It's warm. The sun is shining. No complaints.
None over here either.
Yeah, what's the weather where you are? Is it nice?
It is nice. So I'm in Maryland, right outside of Baltimore, and it's supposed to be in the mid 80s, around 85 today. So
Oh,
beautiful,
wow.
warm, no rain in sight. So yes.
Oh, nice. What state is that in? Mer
So Maryland is the state.
Oh,
Maryland, Baltimore is the state.
okay. I'm in Canada, people. We don't do states, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Baltimore is the city. Maryland is the state. So it's right outside of Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I've heard of the big stuff, right? New York and anything big that's been in movies or whatnot, I've heard of them.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I said Washington, D.C. So most, yeah,
Yeah, I have an idea of sort of where that is. Yeah, that's awesome.
correct. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So Tiffany, can you start by telling us who you are and what you do?
Yes. So me, I am a child of God, for one. I'm a mother to a beautiful little boy named Jeremiah. I am a entrepreneur where I have three businesses. I'm pretty sure we'll get into those. I am a naval officer of 19 years, retiring next year. But yes, but I am a daughter, a sister, and I am all things compass of what a strong woman looks like.
Ooh, wow. I love that.
Thank
There's a lot to unpack here.
Yes.
But let's get to know you a little bit more, and then we'll slowly transition into more of what you do. What was your childhood like? What are some fond memories that you've carried and given to your son?
My childhood, honestly, I had a really fun childhood. I have two brothers, one older than me, one younger. I'm the middle and only girl.
Mhm.
And we was raised with my aunts and my cousins. We spent a lot of time at my grandmother's house. So I'm originally born and raised in Fort Pierce, Florida. So my family is truly from the South. Everyone's in the house together, everyone is raised together, everyone plays together. So this stay in the house today and just play video games. No, we got kicked out the house and you had to stay outside all day and play in 100-degree weather. You could not come back in. But yes, but I had a really, really fun childhood. I did sports with me and my brother. He was on the football team, I was on the cheerleading team. We ran track together. Um, I really enjoyed everything my childhood that my mom gave us. My mom was a single parent for a long time before she remarried, and
Mhm.
but she did give us the best life and was really the best role model for us.
Mm, that's awesome. That's really cool. Would you say how your mom raised you taught you how to evolve as a mom today?
Yes, I mean, my mom is really is the epitome of a hardworking woman, and I know as a mother, sometimes we put up this S on our chest and we think we could do it all
Mhm.
without any help, which is not true. My mom really leaned on my family, her family for support, and that taught me the foundation that now of how I'm raising my son is that yes, be strong but be there for your child, but also lean on other people to help you because it does take a village to raise kids. It takes a village to be able to provide that support and what they need, and also what
Mhm.
you need. You're one person, you cannot do it all.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. You mentioned that you are a naval officer. Can you tell what is that?
Yeah, so I'm in the US Navy. I've been in for 19 years. I came in right after a couple years after I graduated college from Florida A&M University. I went to the officer candidate school and came in as an officer, as a supply officer back
Mhm.
in 2005. I did 6.5 years in the active duty Navy. So I was on a ship. I was deployed. several times on a ship. I was deployed to Afghanistan one time, and then I decided to come to the Navy Reserves. The Navy was good, but it didn't really balance with my life and kind of where I was maturing, where I was going on my personal side. So, I decided to come off active duty in 2011 and stay in the Navy Reserves, which it was the best decision for me. I kind of say I have the best of both worlds. I have a civilian job with the government. I get to manage my personal life, and I can still be affiliated with the Navy at the same time. So it really worked out perfect for me where now I'm a commander, '05,
Wow.
and I'm retiring next year after 20 years.
Mhm.
So I'm very proud of myself because I would never said I would have done 20 years when I signed up.
This is Wow, wow, that's so awesome. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, what is different about being overseas, like water? I'm guessing you've been on boats and so on. What is different in the duties that you do there versus being on the ground?
Honestly, nothing. So nothing. The
Okay.
only big difference is I'm on a ship and I'm locked on a ship and can't get off when I wanna go
Okay.
home. That is
Yeah.
really the only
Yeah.
difference. And
Yeah.
I tell people, like, on a ship is like a small city.
Mhm.
It's, you have ship, personnel from 200
Mhm.
up to 5,000 people on the ship, depending on the size of the ship.
Yeah.
I was on one of maybe considered the smaller size ship. The Navy crew only had maybe about 400 people, but
Mhm.
we transported the Marines, so when the Marines came on board, they usually brought on, like, another 500 to 1,000 people on
Oh,
board, the ship I was on, and that was our sole job, was to transport the Marines in their and support their mission, wherever they needed to go, but you still had to run the ship like you run your home, like you run a business. They needed to eat, so we needed supplies. They needed gas, so we always fueled up. We had, instead of paying a utility bill, hey, you had diesel fuel, you
yeah.
had people still had to get paid, so that's money bank that I had to manage, laundry, ship store, people had, so there was still the parts of the ship that, like I say, is still the same because I was like, I
Yeah.
was on a ship, I'm in the water, I can't leave when you all make me mad versus when I'm home, I could cuss you out and then I can go home.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow, that's so cool. Yeah, that's really,
Yeah.
really cool. So your family, they've been very supportive of what you do?
Yes, they
Okay.
actually have been really supportive. I mean, my mom was terrified when I said I was coming to the military. Was not a military brat.
Yeah.
I didn't do ROTC in high school or college. I am girl of all girls.
Mhm,
So me saying now I want to come to the military, it was like, where did that
mhm.
come from?
Yeah.
But it really was the best decision. For
Mhm,
me at the time, graduating Florida A&M. I graduated without a internship, so it was really hard to get a job.
mhm,
I was working at Hertz Rental Car, and I was like, I did not go to school and
mhm,
get a
mhm.
degree in business and economics to be working at Hertz and cleaning cars. And I
Yeah.
was like, there has to be more out there.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
has to be, like this can't be the life. Um,
Mhm.
but no, I had my best friend mom at the time. She was retired Army, and she poured in that wisdom in me,
Mhm,
and really just planted that seed of you could go into any branch as an officer when you have your degree. And I looked into it, and I took the test, and I was accepted. And when I
mhm,
told my mom, and she was, my stepdad at the time before he passed away, he was Marine. So
mm.
he was like, "Yes, go for it." And my mom was like, "What? My only daughter wants to quit? What? I'm in the
Mhm.
Navy? What?"
Yeah,
She was
yeah.
not happy, but she came around, and she's
Mhm,
very supportive now, especially with my son, and I have to travel with him. So she will fly in, watch him, or travel with me. Sometimes I just bring her along with me to watch my son when I have to go on travels.
mm. Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. So how do you transition from what you used to do or continue to do with what you're doing now? Because do you have 3 companies or what is it? Tell us more what they are.
Yeah. So I have my what I call my fun side of the house where, I kind of let my hair down. I'm a
Mm.
mixologist where I
Oh,
make
what?
all
Sorry?
a mixologist. So
Oh.
it's like a stage up from a bartender. I customize
Oh.
cocktails and mocktails, and I
Yeah.
make these custom drinks like you would not think. You would not think the ingredients
Ooh.
go together, and that's the
Mm,
whole purpose of a mixologist. We could find these ingredients and look at them. It's like, oh, that
mhm.
would make a really nice drink if we pair them together. I make
Yeah.
all my own cocktail syrups that goes with them.
Mhm.
So I host a bunch of private parties. I can do virtual parties as well,
Yeah.
but I host a lot of private parties, and
Mhm.
I teach, couples and friends and anybody's about bringing. It's really about bringing people together and
Yeah.
teaching you all how to make a good,
Yeah.
delicious drink for the comfort of your home. And I
Mhm.
have my own cocktail recipe boxes that you go on Pick Your Sweet Poison. That's the name of my business. You can follow me on Instagram or Facebook.
Mhm.
Um, and it's all you could buy the recipes. I have my own recipe
Oh,
box.
wow. Yeah.
Yes, so that's one business, Pick Your Sweet Poison. But then I also have my speaking business, which is called
Mm,
Speak with Tiffany, where I'm a speaker, I'm a writer.
mhm.
Um, and there is where I provide motivational speaking. I really do focus on a lot of empowering and encouraging, especially women who have
Mm,
been through any kind of trauma, any kind of storm in their life, any kind of pain, and they need help to overcome. So I have a book called Healing But Not Broken. It's on Amazon, and it's an
mm,
inspirational journal and workbook. And in there, I get to share a piece of my testimony after going
mhm.
through a very painful divorce, after only being married 3 years, and
Yeah.
share with you my wisdom and my tips of how I got through that storm because it's really unexpected.
Mhm.
And it's really to let you know you have a friend on that journey.
Mm.
Um, and then I have another book coming out that's geared towards kids, and it's called Becoming a Young CEO. And
Oh.
yes, and it's a fun, easy guide to
Mhm.
teach kids how to start their own online business
Mhm.
and build that confidence in them early where they are not afraid to step out on their own and not just think that college is the
Mhm.
only avenue or military is the only avenue when they get to high school or that's when we kind of really start talking to kids in the US.
Yeah.
But let's start in the elementary. Let's start it when they're
Mm,
younger and
mhm.
build that confidence. So that book will be coming out next month on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. You can pre-order it on certain sites now.
Mhm.
But we have different merchandise, clothing line to really go with that to inspire and empower our youth
Mhm.
and teach
Mhm.
them that it's, you know what? You are a CEO, and you not only a CEO, you could be an athlete, a
Yeah.
chef, a writer, and a CEO all at the same time. You don't have to just focus on one thing.
Yeah.
So that's my second business. And finally, on the QR code and what you see on the screen, T.L. Harvey Investments. That's where I have now taken my experience, what the government has trained me to do for almost the last 20 years, which is in acquisition and government contract.
Mhm.
And now I'm on a mission to empower young small businesses to help them get affiliated and become federal contractors to help you win government contracts and add those six figures to the back of your bank accounts.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. I love everything you do. You're a
Thank
busy
you.
woman and you're
Yes.
full of surprises.
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, thank you, for seeing the next generation, for empowering them. Because I find at time kids, they're so creative. They have so many ideas, but sometimes their dreams or ideas get shut down
Mhm.
because they're thinking of doing something mom or dad doesn't want them to do, right?
Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Uh,
when we inspires them when they're young and really
Mhm.
believe in them,
Yeah.
they won't get that tunnel vision, I like to call it with adults of, or that fear, I can't do this, I can't do that, or they start questioning themselves.
Mhm.
Kids are more creative at a young age than we are at an adult age
Yeah.
because they have no fear built them. We build that fear into them by telling them, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
But what if we just listen to them and support them and
Mhm.
give them that door to walk through and
Yeah.
see really how creative they can be?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And to let them find themselves
Yeah.
while guiding them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Correct. And that is really what my book is to do, is to
Mhm.
give them another outlets, an opportunity for them to be creative at a young age,
Yeah.
build that confidence in them, and also allow them maybe to start earning money. Like
Mhm. Mhm.
parents, not all parents could give allowance. I didn't get an allowance growing up. I was not fortunate to get an allowance growing up. But this is teaching them a value of money. It is
Yeah.
also teaching them a value of family,
Mhm.
where your mom and dad and you all can do this as a family business
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
build something together.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So when you're creating drinks, do you create drinks for people who can't drink alcohol? Because
Yeah.
I can't. I can choose to and pay for it,
Oh,
but
yes.
I
I
can't.
had yes, no, I'm actually in a festival this Saturday, and I will be serving what is called they're called mocktails here,
Oh.
in the US. So non-alcoholic drinks are called mocktails, and I'm
Mhm.
actually now downstairs making custom mocktails just for this event. So I made, it's called a watermelon kiss.
Mm.
And it has a watermelon juice with a lemonade,
Mhm.
with a homemade strawberry syrup and a homemade watermelon syrup, topped with
Ooh.
fresh lime juice. And if
Mhm.
you want to add a little twist to it, just to take it up another notch, add mint leaf and club soda.
Mm. Yeah,
Mhm.
that sounds so delicious. You're gonna make me thirsty. Wow, I'm so happy you make drinks for people who doesn't drink alcohol. I find sometimes, maybe it's me, there's something judgy or taboo about society criticizing people who don't drink. They're not
Yeah.
as cool. They're boring. I'm all of those people have called me those, but I don't care.
Right, and I
Yeah.
think, here in the States, they're getting to the point where I think within the last few years, mocktails has really become a thing. Like you
Mm,
go into restaurants now and they're on a cocktail list. They have a mocktail list and they
yeah.
cost just as much as a cocktail. I'm like,
Mhm.
there ain't no alcohol in here. Um,
Yeah.
but honestly, I know what it takes to make a good mocktail, and what it takes to make
Mhm.
a good is fresh ingredients. So that is what's driving really the cost, but you have some bars that's all they serve
Yeah.
is custom mocktails. And that's all they want. So
Yeah.
which is okay. So I am working on a recipe box
Mm,
for mocktails. Hopefully I will have that out by next year.
mhm.
To come up with a custom recipe box. But right now, I was definitely seeing you the QR code, and just for
Mhm.
$5, you could download all the recipes I'm going to be using this weekend. So,
Oh,
uh,
nice.
yes,
Mhm.
yes, I've download all the recipes I'll be using this weekend. You can definitely get for just
Mhm.
$5. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
can you tell us what are 3 of your favorite recipes that are alcoholic?
Oh, I knew that question was coming. Okay, let's see. I will go with sangria.
Mm.
This is my version of a sangria, okay?
Mhm.
And this has a tequila,
Mhm.
sweet white wine,
Yeah.
a homemade strawberry syrup, a homemade lavender syrup, and all your different fruits mixed in. That is, I
Mhm.
think, awesome. One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Then I have a rum, one which is coconut rum. It has a homemade citric syrup in it
Yeah.
and fresh lime juice. That's it. Three
Oh,
ingredients.
tropical.
Yeah, it is like the perfect barbecue drink for laying by the pool drink. It's like
Oh, wow.
refreshing. And
Very
then my My third one would be a dark liquor. So,
Mm,
I would take a cognac,
mhm,
and I make it with a orange liqueur,
mm,
like an orange liqueur triple sec,
mhm.
and then I put in a fresh orange, squeeze in a fresh orange, and I make what is called a vanilla rose
Oh,
syrup.
wow. Wow.
It is the best. Like, I haven't had one man say they do not like any of my drinks. I usually turn to the men and they love that one. Most
Oh,
men
wow.
like dark liquor,
Yeah.
and but most men like their dark liquor straight. They don't like it mixed in a cocktail
Mhm.
because you don't find a lot of dark liquor mixed in a cocktail.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
one here,
That's
definitely one
awesome.
I like to make.
Yeah. Did you had to go to a specific, training or school to learn how to make stuff?
So I wanted to do bartending school when I was in college, but honestly, I
Oh,
had
okay.
to pay my way through a waitress.
Mm,
So, but
mm,
all my friends was bartenders, so they taught me. And
mm,
so then I took it and played with it with my friends, and I kind of just kept it going
yeah.
over the years. And I never thought about doing it as a business, honestly,
Mhm.
until I was going through my divorce.
Yeah.
And I had friends to
Mhm.
come over and to comfort me, and they saw me making drinks, and they said,
Yeah.
"You really should turn this into a business." And
Yeah.
that's what I did. I took a
Oh,
fun
wow.
hobby and
Yeah.
turned it into business.
That's awesome. So, who are your testers?
Everyone, everyone. I use everyone. I use my
Yeah.
friends, family, people in my doctor's office. I mean, there's certain doctor's office I cannot walk in without a drink anymore. So
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Yeah, what does your son try some of the non-alcoholic beverages? Does he have a favorite?
So he actually makes his own. He has his own YouTube page, which is called Jerry Kid Drinks, where he's just started posting his own version of
Oh, wow.
mocktails for kids.
Wow.
Yes. So
Wow. Little entrepreneur. That's
yeah,
so
yeah.
cool. That's really cool. Yeah, tell us more about your divorce. I know no divorces are easy because my parents went through that very young.
Mhm,
How did you move past the pain of the
mhm.
separation and heal from wounds that were there?
So let me just take you back just a minute. So we were
Mhm,
married, for 3 years. I mean, I literally thought I met my husband. I
mhm,
really thought I met the man who I was going to spend the rest of my life with.
mm,
Um, but shortly after we got married, I
yeah,
really saw changes in him. He started
mm,
coming home later and later. The communication stopped. Hell,
mhm,
the sex stopped. Everything
mhm,
just the man that I married was not the man that I married. And
mm,
really, he turned into someone else.
yeah,
I do take my responsibility in that role, and I think that's the important thing of healing. What role did you have to play in it?
mhm,
But I chose that man. And I did everything I think in my power to talk to him, go to counseling, to
mm,
really work it out because we were only married 3 years. We had great careers, we had great family, a beautiful son, my stepson, a beautiful home. So I thought, our problems were not too big where they could not work out. And I
mm,
think that's where a lot of couples get married and they are marrying the person and not marrying your vows, meaning
mm,
that if something go wrong, you're quick to throw the person away and
mm,
not stay committed to your vows.
mm,
And that's kind of what happened in this situation. I was fighting for our vows while he was
mhm,
leaving because of whatever reason. And I couldn't tell you the reason to this day, to be honest with you.
yeah,
Um, but during that process, it hurt because I did not see it coming. I
mm,
did not see this storm
mhm,
come in my life. But with therapy,
mhm,
um, really, really helped
mhm,
me through the process. And I had to see two therapists. I saw a mental therapist and
yeah,
I saw a spiritual therapist
yeah,
because I needed both of those.
mhm,
Really want to keep me sane and to keep my faith in God while I went through the process because it was painful
yeah,
to overhear someone tell their family member that I was never his queen and he
mm,
basically shouldn't have never married me.
Mm,
And a piece of my heart literally broke that day when I heard it. But
mm,
I knew I had to get over that pain. And the way to get over that pain was seeing therapy, and writing was actually one of the things that helped me, you
mm,
know, get through it. But
mhm,
also affirmations
mm,
helped me get through it.
yeah.
And I have an affirmation that one of the affirmations that is titled I'm built for this. Because the main thing that I learned and I kind of focus on the bad days
Mhm,
was that God prepared me for this storm long before it came. It's a reason why I didn't break, because he built me to handle this. He took me through some things in my past from the military, childhood, just growing up, and he was preparing me for this, and it's a reason why I didn't break. So that was like my favorite affirmation. That's something I even focus on to this day when I have those bad days or when things come into my life where I just don't understand. I'm like, you know what? He built me for this. He already prepared me
mhm,
for this.
mhm.
So I kind of learned through affirmation, writing, talking is a healing mechanism for me by talking it out, but also knowing who to talk to.
Yeah, yeah.
You share your story with the wrong person, they could have you in jail, by the time you letting them speak. So be careful who you speak with.
Yeah.
I learned who to talk to, and I really learned to lean on God,
Mhm,
and stand on His faith and His words to really
mhm.
help me through the healing process. So those are some of the things that got me through. And honestly, I thank Him for the divorce now. People
Yeah.
like, "Why do you thank him? Why do you say thank you for divorcing me?" Thank
Mhm,
you, because God he took me through that pain, which seemed like so much pain, but he
yeah.
had to take me there. He had to separate him out of my life to now get to the person I am today.
Mm,
Not saying that I would not be a writer or a speaker or have my own consulting business or mixology business. Not saying I wouldn't have got there. I probably would have just not got there not as quick
yeah.
with him still in my life. So
Mm,
I thank him. I was like, thank you. I humbly thank you for everything you did, because it taught me and is now preparing me for the next level that
yeah.
God is taking me to.
Mm. Wow. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, you can see and hear the healing that you've done, everything you've overcome, and all the tears you probably shed. That was you
Mhm.
releasing something to become who you are now. So,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing. And I'm sure there are people watching. Maybe they've been through exactly what you're going through, what you've been through, and
Mhm.
the other challenges you may be going through still. What would you say to people who's been through divorce?
It's hard.
Mhm,
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Going through a divorce is hard because you didn't go into a marriage to get divorced, but
mhm,
there are times where you it's better for you all to be apart than to be together. And
yeah,
if you understand the season of your life that you're actually in,
mm,
going through that divorce is going to be easier
mhm,
versus fighting the whys and holding on to the past. And look at the season you are in now and where God is trying to take you. That really does ease the pain and the walk, that transition
mhm,
that you're not going to have to go through. So cry it out. Cry. Whatever feelings you're going through on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they all may be different. It's okay.
mhm,
You are human. It's
mhm,
okay to be mad, sad, crying, regret. But let's not stay there and try to focus on where God is taking you and the beauty, the joy on the side of that pain, because there is going to be joy on the side of that pain. You're not going to cry forever.
mhm.
Just know the pain doesn't last long,
Yeah,
and just get a good support system. If you're going through a divorce, get a good support system behind you. Do not do it alone. Matter of
mhm,
fact, you can't do it alone. You're
yeah.
going to need that friend that you call in the middle of the night. I got a couple of them.
That's
I got
awesome. That's
I
good.
got that friend who ready to get in the car and say, "Listen, let's go. What we gotta do? Who making you mad today?"
Mhm,
You need those people in your life.
Yeah.
but most importantly, you need therapy.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Overall, you need therapy. Work on healing requires help from a professional. It
Mhm.
really does. Can you do it by yourself? Yes, but should you do it by yourself? No.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the sad part is that people hurt alone. They
Mhm,
think they're lonely and, when really there's help, and I think it takes a type of ridiculous courage that we often buried
mhm.
to say, "I need help." We don't have to be in the hospital bed, in the wheelchair, or whatever, tragic situation to happen for us to say those words and to accept help. I know it's hard.
Right,
The minute people say therapy, no, they
right, and
don't
I
do
don't
it.
know why. Right, and I will say, Imma be honest with you. I when my friend of mine who started seeing a therapist, I was like, "Well, why?
Mm,
What happened? What's wrong?" You know, like the
mm,
whole,
mhm, mhm.
"What do you mean you need therapy?" You know, I didn't
Yeah,
understand it. I did not understand it until I that storm came into my life, and I was like, "Where did storm come from? What just happened?
mm,
Why is my world
yeah,
literally feel like it's getting turned upside down, like, overnight?" Like, I had no time to
mhm,
mentally prepare myself for
mm,
what was coming.
yeah,
But I found myself turning to her like, "Who's your therapist?"
yeah,
Because God has spoke to me. I was like, and I remember begging God, like, "I do not want this pain to change me. I
mm,
do not want this hate that is building up in my heart
yeah,
to change me." Because I felt it when you're going through a painful divorce, you want to feel that hate, you want to feel that rage, but
mhm,
it's your job to fight it. And that was one of my first prayers to God. I remember it's like, tell me what I need to do,
mhm,
who I need to see, because I need help. Because if I don't get help, I'm going to turn into the rage that's building inside me, and
yeah,
I don't know who I'm going to become.
mhm, yeah, yeah, thank you for sharing, and, when I look at couples that have been together for 60, 50 years, they're from a different generation, a generation when things were supposedly broken, they would come together and put the pieces back together, not just one person trying to fix it. So as a millennial, I'm single, I don't have experience, I don't plan on getting married. I don't know how to do relationships, and I wish that we could learn from those people who's been together for that long. I'm like, how
It's
have you
not.
been together that long? You're both alive.
Well, you know what? It's about honestly, it's about talking. It's about wisdom being poured down, but it's also about you listening.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of people talking, older people sharing
Mhm.
wisdom, but we don't listen. And
Yeah.
that is something I learned at a very young age.
Mhm.
Listen to the people who came before you, because that
Mhm.
wisdom they're sharing is going to save you a lot of heartache and pain of where you're trying to go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It
I
really.
agree.
And
Mhm.
but we don't ask, sometimes we don't ask the questions. And when we
Mhm.
do ask the question, we say, "Oh, those old people don't know what they talking about. They don't
Mm.
know what they talking." But it's not true. If you truly wanna
Yeah.
learn anything, you have to listen to people who have come before you, because
Mhm.
they have that knowledge and their experience, and they're
Mhm.
really just trying to share with you, regardless how you may look corny or out of date, or we don't do things like that now, but guess what?
Mm.
You're admiring what they have, and
Yeah.
in your heart, you do want what they have.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I call those people wisdom keepers.
Mhm.
Obviously, I say old too, but I struggle to say it even when I say it because it's more than the physical stuff we're seeing.
Correct.
If we zoom a little deeper, oh my gosh, I used to love when my grandparents would tell me stories. Even
Mhm.
as a child, even as an adult, I would sit there and they took me somewhere and brought me back to where I was. And it's fascinating. I love when um, older.
Yeah.
When wisdom keepers are talking. I love it, love it,
Yeah,
love it.
I
Yeah.
do too. Yeah,
Mhm.
and so
Yeah.
now I pay attention a lot more. I pay a lot of attention when I hear people talk who's came before me or who's older than me. I listen because I know they have a value. They have something to share because they've been there. They've seen it
Mhm.
and they don't want me to repeat it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about your faith. I noticed you've listened to one of my episodes relating to the other side.
Yes.
What is your faith? And how was that episode? Because I've grown in different religions.
Mhm,
Um, and I know with Christianity, if you talk about the dead, it's woo-woo, it's evil. I don't know your experience. Yeah, I don't have a religion at this time. Don't plan on. I'm spiritual,
mhm.
open-minded, and love people. So share with us your experience.
Yeah, so I am Christian. I born raised, I think, Christian,
Mhm.
baptized. I grew up in a Baptist, old school Southern Baptist church where my
Yeah.
mom still goes to today.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
I said, you want that old school drum beating, organ playing, shouting, hand clapping, you
Yeah.
know, tambourine. That is still the type of church when I go home to my mom's.
Yeah.
In Florida, is still that same church. But now I go to a non-denominational church, which
Mhm.
is called New Life International here in Hanover, Maryland. But I am a Christian and I'm a proud Christian. I know that if it wasn't for God, I would not be sitting here in front of you all today.
Mhm.
'Cause there were some decisions that I was making wrong in my life where if it was not for Him
Mhm.
putting people in my life
Yeah.
to support me and stop me, I
Mhm.
probably would have went down a wrong path. And I know it wasn't body, but Him, because it wasn't me.
Mhm.
100% I can tell you it wasn't not me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but I am a true believer that, we have one heavenly Father and his son died on the cross for
Mhm.
us.
Mhm.
And people say they're spiritual. I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm like,
Mhm.
your faith is your faith, your religion is your religion. You
Mhm.
know, we all go through different walks that's going to get us to where we are. You may be spiritual today, you may Christian tomorrow, you may be a Catholic next day.
Mhm.
But that relationship you have ultimately with God,
Mhm.
He's the only one person that can judge that. No one else can. So never let anyone turn their nose up at you and say, oh, well, you
Yeah.
don't know God or you're going to hell. No, you cannot judge me
Mm.
because at
Yeah.
the end of the day, we're both going to face somebody.
Mhm.
And he has
Yeah.
the ultimate decision at the end of the day. So a
Mhm.
building, I tell people all the time, church religion is not a building.
Mhm.
And that's what
Mhm.
people think it is. It's
Yeah.
my relationship and how I communicate
Yeah.
with God. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Yeah. Because um, I don't know if you've heard of NDEs, near death experiences of all kinds of people
Yeah.
getting a taste of where they go
Mhm.
when they're not here.
Right.
There's been atheists from people from all walks of life, and they come back with mind-blowing messages of what they always thought wasn't. Just all the false beliefs and everything they believed, and now they see the truth.
And sometimes, it we have to God takes us somewhere to get
Yeah.
our attention because we are too
Mhm.
hard-headed sitting here today, but we won't listen. So when he's
Yeah.
trying to speak to us or trying to put these messages in us,
Mhm.
we're not listening, regardless if he giving it to us through people, a song, a TV show, or whatever it is, we're not hearing him. So sometimes he has to do something so drastic to get our attention because he has a plan for
Mhm.
us. It's
Mhm.
already designed. It's just we're being hard-headed and we're not listening to him on that and staying on the plan he designed.
Yeah.
We all have so many talents, and the Bible speaks on the talents.
Yeah.
Overall, he wants our talents he blessed us with to
Mhm.
be poured back into him and his house and his people to share the talents of, hey, this is what God gave me. You have a great talent of talking, and bringing people together and sharing people
Mhm.
stories and honestly, I could see you're gonna go far. Like I was saying, family like Lizzie,
Thank
yeah, I
you.
was on her podcast when she started. I look at her, she on news and broadcast. And I don't even know if that's your vision or not, but you
Mhm.
have a beautiful talent that God has blessed you with.
Thank you
You
so much. Thank you. Thank you. You too. You too. And yeah, it's been a journey because when we start something, people doubt us, they judge us, they criticize us. There's been lots of people who walked away because of what I'm doing.
Mhm.
And there's been a lot who reflect on what they've done. And a lot, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's right.
And guess what? You're gonna lose people. But when
Mhm.
you and I tell people, people love the saying that birds of a feather flock together. I'm like, okay, but what type of birds are you flocking with? Because not
Yeah.
all birds fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's be honest. I
Yeah.
love that saying, but not all birds fly. I was like,
Mhm.
I only soar with eagles. I
Mm.
soar with eagles,
Mhm.
but the people I'm soaring with, they also have to have that fire of a phoenix.
Yeah.
I need to know who in my circle who've
Mhm.
already been where I wanna go.
Yeah.
And I wanna soar so high where people cannot touch me. That means you cannot come with me. Everybody can't come with me in my circle. And
Yeah.
that's okay. Because if you cannot soar and you don't have that fire burning in you when adversity comes, when times get hard, that's fine. You're not of
Mhm.
one of the birds I want to be
Mm.
associated with.
Yeah. 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 And at times there's a type of peace that we have in chaos that people don't understand how, why, and where it's coming from. Sometimes we can explain it, sometimes we can't. I know I can't most of the time.
And sometimes you don't need to.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
I can't.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you don't even need to. You don't owe anybody an explanation or anything. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
as long as I'm okay with it,
Mhm.
that's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Doesn't
agree.
matter what everyone else say, because everyone has one opinion. Don't mean
Oh
it's right.
gosh.
Everyone has one. I tell
Yeah.
people like everyone got one. I just don't have to take it and listen.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about your speaking work that you do. When did you started to speak? Did you ever get nervous? What's your secret? Because I need it.
Uh, so honestly, I just started speaking a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I just
Wow.
really like personally. I
Yeah.
mean, work, military, that's different. That's work, that's
Mm,
military. Really
mhm,
speaking in front of people and really sharing my story. I just
mhm,
started last year and I got my very first opportunity, which I was truly blessed to speak at the All Black National Convention in
mm,
Atlanta last year. And I was just like shocked. When I got accepted and I got picked, I was like, this
mm.
is my first speaking event. Why would they pick me? Why would they pick little? Well, they pick
Wow.
little me. I don't have the experience, but they saw something in me. At the time, I did not 100% see myself. I
Mm,
knew I was on a path, but I was uncertain still.
yeah. Yeah.
I knew God had me going down a path, but I didn't ask for it. So I was really uncertain.
Mhm,
And it took my apostle, my pastor to really kind of sit me down and just say, listen, trust where God is taking you.
yeah.
And just go and speak from your heart. Yes,
Mm,
prepare, write out, be prepared. So I started taking a master class, a speaking class to
mhm,
help me identify my signature story, my story. How do I convey my story to where it translates and hits you in your heart?
mhm, mhm.
And how do I convey my story without me being so emotional where it lose you?
Yeah.
So I started working on myself. I started pouring into myself. And that's what I kind of been doing for the last year. It's
Mhm.
really, practicing
Yeah.
and speaking more and honestly letting go of the fear. Because once I recognized and got told and been told multiple times, I said, please don't stop speaking.
Mm,
You you're breaking chains off people that you don't know. And
yeah.
there are people are holding on to things, but they needed to hear your words in the
Mhm,
way that you're saying, in the way that you're conveying them to get them to move on.
Yeah.
You are a gift from God.
Mhm.
And Lois, that's really what got me over the fear
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
questioning myself.
Mm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can't say what I did. I would say definitely speak the master classes, the speaking class has definitely made me more comfortable or how to craft my story and
Mm.
to really get it to the point where it's like I could go in front of a stage right now and say, Tiffany, speak. And I can.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Yeah, for me, I don't have experience, and I think God is using me for something I'm not seeing it yet. I feel it, but I
Mhm.
don't know where the finish line is or if there is one because I don't know. And throughout different stories in the Bible, God came for the lowly. The prostitute, the woman at the well, and the beggar, like
Yeah.
I think he's using me because I don't have degrees. I don't know.
And
Right?
I
I don't
think
know.
it's around speaking. I think it's really around speaking and sharing the message. What you're doing now, I think it's going to elevate
Mhm.
higher. And I think if you want to continue to elevate and do the work, because God will open those doors, but we still have to do the work. He could
Mm.
open the door all day, but if you don't walk through it, and then you walk through unprepared, then guess what? You just
Yeah.
let a blessing go to waste. So
Mhm.
I would say for you, you're is speaking. But
Mhm.
now investing that.
Yeah.
Get your speaking to a level to where no matter if it's on a podcast, your podcast, someone else's podcast, or on a stage, you are always prepared. And that fear you have, it will be no more. And
Mhm.
I would actually, I've seen you some of the information in the speaking classes I'm in, and
Yeah.
they may work for you. I mean, there's a good one I just went to called the Leadership Experience. It's in
Mhm.
Detroit. You're in
Yeah.
Canada. It's right there.
Yeah.
It actually puts you on a stage to speak in front of thousands of people.
Mm.
They help you prepare. They help you prepare.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Oh,
give
wow.
you that.
That's a lot of people.
But it's you know what? When I got up there, I
Mhm.
didn't see the camera. I didn't see
Yeah.
the camera
Yeah.
because and I was sick on stage. If you go back and watch go you go on my social media, you go on my
Yeah.
social media, you're like, "Ooh, she was sick." Yes, I was sick. My voice is still not 100% back.
Mm.
But you know what? I pushed past the sickness because
Yeah.
I knew I had a story to tell. And I knew I was gonna break
Yeah.
something off of someone that day. And you're going to too. By you even having this platform, letting people talk, you don't realize what people
Mm.
are leaving behind. Talking is healing.
Yeah.
And the more you give people this platform, the more people that are gonna get healed.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, I've had a few people tell me thank you. I said for what? For what I'm doing
Yeah,
and just what I'm sharing. Yeah.
yeah, keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah. Yeah, tell us, what does potential mean to you? How do you continue to unleash your potential?
Ah, potential means to me continue to grow.
Mm.
Continue to grow. Find areas in my life where I could continue to grow, elevate, and expand.
Mhm.
Potential is just that one small thing where it's like, oh, I could do this.
Mhm.
Now, how can I do it better? How can I take it to the next level and get better than my competition? But guess what? You know, it's my way.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I agree. I love that. Ooh. What a power episode. Power hour. That's what I'm gonna call it.
I like that.
Power hour. Yeah, yeah. What does purpose mean to you?
Purpose. Oh, another P. Honestly, what God has for me.
Mhm.
My purpose is what God has truly, truly for me. And
Mhm.
that is where I need to be. And
Yeah.
that's where I need to work to stay on.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think everybody may have a different definition, but for me, it's just what is it that God has for me? What was the purpose why He created me
Yeah.
to do in this season
Yeah.
of my life? And let me be clear, your purpose can change depending on the season you're in. But for this season of
Mhm.
my life, I always want to make sure I know the purpose of what I'm doing And
Yeah.
what I'm doing, if it does not align with the purpose God has for me, then it's not for me.
Mm. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. What do you want people to get out of everything we've talked about?
The message I think I would want your audience to get is that doesn't matter
Mm,
how bad life is. It doesn't matter, you know, what storm blows into your life or challenge.
mm,
You can overcome any and everything if you
yeah.
just work for it,
Mhm,
pray for it, and have faith in God that's going to bring you through.
mhm,
That's the main thing. I think my messages and everything that
mm,
I do across any business is that hard work and faith will get you everywhere in life, and nothing can hold you back if it's meant for you.
mm. Yeah, love that. Two questions as we wrap up. First one, what is the meaning of life for you?
Oh, that's a good one. Like, I know I think I got that one before. The meaning of life for me is honestly just living a good life,
Mhm,
living a good Christian life. I'm not perfect. Let me be clear. Let me be clear,
mhm.
y'all. I am not perfect. I am going to
Mhm.
make mistakes,
Yeah.
but living a good life
Mm,
on this earth while I'm here, being a good mom, a good friend, a good sister,
yeah.
potentially maybe a good wife.
Mhm,
That's the meaning of life, just living a good life and being good to other people.
mhm. I love that. Are you planning on writing more books about your businesses?
I am. I am. So we have the Becoming a Young CEO is coming out hopefully next month. We're starting
Ooh.
the Young CEO Academy, which will be
Mhm,
starting in person this summer, but will eventually come online. So, please go online, sign up for my email, stay in contact. But I am have another book I would love to work on, and it's really geared to kids and their emotionals. I was in therapy. My son had to be put in therapy. He's only 6, but I
yeah.
really want something for our youth
Mm,
again to help them with their mental state. You said your mom and dad went through a divorce. Mine did too. I didn't have anything to express myself when I was happy or sad or scared. And I really want to give them something, an outlet that
mhm,
it builds confidence, it gives them affirmation, but they can really express themselves more of an
mhm.
art form.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm working on something now to hopefully, could come out next year. That one there, I'm just taking my time to do and there probably is going to be a follow up to Healing But Not Broken too
Mm,
next year as well.
yeah. Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's really cool. And then do you have a book for your recipes or they're just individual?
So no, I actually have a cocktail recipe box called Pick Your Sweet Poison. They were on Amazon. I just pulled them actually literally this week. But
Okay.
you can go online to my website,
Mhm,
which is www.pickyour/sweetpoison.com. And you can actually place an order there online and
mhm,
I will just ship it to you.
mhm,
If something comes up, you can send me an email at pickyoursweetpoison at gmail.com.
mhm,
And if you tell me you want, the recipe box, again, I'll ship it to you. If you want to order any cocktail syrups,
mhm,
see what, flavors we have, because they do change in the middle of the season. But
mhm.
yeah, you could definitely send me an email and we will get that out to you. We'll give you the price point and everything, and we'll get that out to you.
Wow. Awesome. 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 Well, Tiffany, thank you for inspiring, empowering, equipping, teaching, loving, and just keep shining. Keep being you.
Thank you. And I want to say the same thing for you. You are going places and
Thank
you
you.
are a beautiful, beautiful soul inside and out. And I know I just met you, but everything you've been through, I'm telling you, everything you've been through is really preparing you for everything that God has for you. I
Yeah.
know some days you have questioned it, and I know you have questioned yourself and you
Mm,
ask yourself a lot of whys, but he had to
mm,
take you through those. He had to remove some people out your life because
yeah.
he is taking you places that you can only imagine. So keep going.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.